I don't know a lot about it, but I do know it has a huge historic significance in these parts. And once I've pitched my tent, I'm going to go and find out more. The Battle of the Ebro was one of the bloodiest battles of the Spanish Civil War, and the years that followed under Franco's dictatorship have left their own harrowing legacy on this river and the surrounding region. I'm off to meet a local historian, Manuel, to try and shed some light on this seemingly buried history.
Were two big bands fighting. One were the Republicans, the other one the Nazi or fascist or whatever, Franco guys. When the Nazi came uptown, when they went to River Ebro, they would kill everything that moved. Then they would go away. Then the Republicans would come to town and shoot what was remaining. So there was not a war. It was just a massive slaughtering.
So tell me what we're off to see.
Well, what we're up to see is the tip of a church that remained from the old town of Fayot. It was flooded in 1967 to build the River Ebro dam. So the only thing that remains in a practical way is the tip of a church. The remains of the town are unfortunately underwater.
And this was during Franco's time?
And there was nothing you could do about it. You had a house. Now you leave it now or you're gonna die underwater. It's up to you.
Yeah. You can almost picture the older generation sat in their houses being dragged out by their children.
Yes.
It's just an image that you can summon up so easily.
And it kills you inside. The life was gone for good. And they knew it, so that's why they preferred to die with their houses.
Is it something that the people who live here like to forget about, do you think?
Yes, I think so, because for the Catalan point of view, it should be better forget and then try to move on. Because if you start bringing old feelings about many things that happened during this Civil War period, or Spanish Revolution, whatever name you want to use, and what happened after that, it would be very difficult even to look at your neighbor.
It's almost impossible to imagine what the people of Fayot went through. And as we turn the corner, the reality of this tragic story hits home. It's incredibly moving, knowing that there's a whole village below us now, and knowing the history involved in that.
Yes. It's quiet, isn't it?
It's a very strange feeling.
Yes.
Yeah. And would it be possible for me to swim here?
If you wish.
Really?
Yes.
I would love that. I take the plunge for my most dramatic wild swim yet. Swimming around the clock tower is a pretty surreal experience. The view above the water is one thing, but my mind is totally fixated on what's below. I feel as though I'm swimming with ghosts. Well, this is pretty mind-blowing, to be honest. I've got a whole village beneath my feet, and I feel in one swim and one boat ride, I've learned more about the Spanish Civil War than I have in my whole life.